Hey there, it's Victoria McCooey from Victoria McCooey Coaching and victoriamccooey.com. So today I'd like to talk to you about contrast. So I talk to my clients about this a lot because when you are married to an abusive or toxic or controlling husband and you feel stuck in this marriage, or if you're already engaged in a contentious divorce from a narcissistic ex, then you've been brainwashed. You have been sucked into his crazy world. I mean, he has worked consistently and steadily at making you feel weak, making you feel less than, unimportant, incapable. Does any of this sound, is this resonating with you? Do you understand? Are you in this place? Let me know. Because it takes time. It's like a slow drip. It doesn't happen overnight, or else you wouldn't allow it, right? But because it wears away at you so slowly, when you're married to someone like this, and this relationship has endured over a long time, he has steadily worn away at your self-esteem. And now you, by all of these words he uses, looks he throws at you, things he does, and then you're having these reactions that make you seem like the crazy one. So when you engage in a divorce, okay, you finally figure out how to set some boundaries and you finally engage in a divorce, and now you're in court, you're in a custody battle maybe, and you now have to present yourself as the sane one, as the good guy, as the capable parent. But because of the damage that's been done to you after all this time, after all the crazy making that he's done to you, it's hard. It's hard not to be triggered by the things that he's caused you to be triggered by all these years. All right, this is why we talk about contrast. So it's your job now to figure out, or to have me help you figure out how to put a wall up so that you're not triggered anymore, so that you can present yourself as who you really were back then, before all this damage was done to you. Believe me, I know. I can't judge you because I was in that exact same place. Years and years of torture, verbal abuse and financial abuse and emotional abuse, gaslighting, lying, tricking, deceiving. It takes a toll. It makes you doubt yourself. It makes you seem unhinged. So now you're faced with having to be the one who is the better choice for custody, the good guy in the divorce. You've got to persuade a judge. You've got to persuade your kids. You've got to persuade everyone around that you are the good guy here. So how do you do that? Here's how I like to help my clients. I help them rediscover who they were before all this happened. And to do that, you're sort of reclaiming yourself. So the first thing I have them do is to really think hard and long about what is their purpose? What's their big why? Like, what is the most important thing to them in life? What's their purpose on this earth? Yes, it's your kids, it's your family, those are givens, but what's your higher calling? What kind of mother is it that you want to be? Or what kind of woman is it that you want to be? Or what kind of business person is it that you want to be? What's the impact that you want to make in your time on this planet? So getting really deep to the heart of who you are, what speaks to you, what the essence of your time here is, that is going to inform how you see everything else in your life. So we figure out what's really important to you. And then you think about what qualities you would need to have in order to achieve that goal, that higher purpose. And an easy way to do this is to think about, seems a little depressing, I won't lie, but just for kicks, let's say you're listening to your own funeral. It's your funeral, and whoever it is giving the eulogy. What do you want them to be saying about you? She was so what? What are the things that are most important for people to take away from your life? She was so generous. She was so powerful. She was so ahead of her time. You tell me, what are the things that you want to be remembered for? So let's start doing those now. She was so creative. What can you do? What are you doing now to personify that? To tell people, to show people what it is you stand for. That is who you are. And then once you feel really grounded in who you are, what purpose you have, what contributions you want to make, you can stand firm in that place. That will override all the triggers, all the shady looks, all the other things that this ex who you're so triggered by is going to throw at you. This is more powerful even than a really manipulative husband or ex-husband. So when you're in court, you draw on that. When you're with your kids, you draw on that. You draw on what you want to personify. So, I've talked a lot about this. If you follow me, I say when you go to court, that judge has got to make a snap decision about the two of you. If he sees you and your ex-husband in front of him, he's human. He's going to have human emotions. And I say he, I know there are a ton of women judges, maybe even more, but I'm just saying he to make it easy. He has to decide on face value. So you have to create the contrast. He's going to do things a certain way, show up a certain way, dress a certain way, react a certain way, speak a certain way. You have to show the contrast of who you are. And the only way to really do that in an effective way is to do it with integrity. That's why you have to keep calling on that, your purpose, your why. Who are you? What is the essence of you? And you journal about it, you write it down, you make notes about all the different adjectives you want that person to be saying about you in your eulogy, and then you own those. And that will create this persona that's going to show the contrast between your ex-husband, and then they'll see who is the grounded, stable one and who's the crazy one, right? It'll come out, it'll happen. So also your children you need to show contrast for your children. They've seen you together and they've seen that, you're just all bundled into one because of the craziness that goes on. But once you're in two different households, you have to show the contrast to your children. Things are like this at dad's. Can you say things are like this at dad's, wherever, whatever that's like, and then things are like this at mom's. So you want your home to be the sane home, the one that projects your personality, the creative home, the calm home, the home where there's wonderful food cooking all the time, or there's beautiful music playing all the time, or whatever it is, whatever is your thing, own that. All right. Does that speak to you? Do you get that? How the contrast is going to be made by pulling yourself out of that dysfunctional dance the two of you have been doing all these years. And that's going to help you put up a wall so that whatever he's doing to you to get you going isn't going to work anymore, because you're going to rediscover you, who you are, what you stand for. How does that feel? Does that feel good? I hope that helps. So this is what I do. I help women who are facing these sorts of challenges, who are dealing with a toxic marriage where they need to set boundaries, need to figure out what their next steps are, and are afraid that they can't leave for whatever reason. Or women who are already engaged in a divorce from a narcissistic ex, and that has its own unique challenges. So those are the women I work with. Those are the women I coach. I was in the exact same place, and I've now made it my mission. So that's my why. That's how I want to change the planet, by helping people who think they can't get out of very dysfunctional, toxic marriages. So that's who I coach. If you're interested in learning more about this, or if you think I might be able to help you, the first step is to schedule a free call with me. I've put a link in this post so you can sign up on my calendar right away. And there's no obligation, there's no pressure. It's just for us to get acquainted. And I'll figure out where you are. You can tell me your story, and I'll figure out where you are and what's going on. And I'll tell you honestly if I think I'm in a position to help you. And if I am, then we'll discuss different ways I work with my clients so we can see what the best fit is for you. All right, I hope this helps. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.